And so it can definitely bring in an element of consistency, that's for sure.
I'm also excited to just see how the boots play a factor in this as well. I feel like some of our North American players opt for boots in doubles at times, so pretty fun weapon to see that you very, very rarely see in Southeast Asia.
That's right. So we'll see how the set ends up going. And right now, okay, let's see what the damage is like. It is even across the board. Sakuya just going to be looking for a way to be able to land that side light. Not going to be able to find it quite yet. Blue team struggling to land here. And also, gosh, I love that Wushang skin so much. It is so funny.
Oh yeah. That stock lead from Red, a lot of it off the back of Yunpyo looking to do a GC side sig right there. Just so much end lag on that move that it was an easy punish right there for Red. Pretty sizable lead right out the gate here now.
Just being nice and patient onto the stage itself. Amazing, just anti-air using the N-Sig. Okay, can you get the double pogo? Yes, you can. Nice job from DoT. Able to find that edge guard, able to find that stock, and now they have a little bit of damage to make up.
Okay. Gauntlets and boots coming at you real quick. Hands and feet in the vehicle at all times. Let's see. Yunpyo is in red right now, though, so it's a pretty dangerous position. But Fronix and Sakuya were looking to try to get a 2v1 over onto DoT. Wait a second.
That's right. You can just hold that if you go through, and somebody will inevitably jump into it. The N-Sig ends up knocking out. DoT gonna be looking for the recovery. Gets knocked off stage at a bit of a nasty angle. Yunpyo almost with the save. Yunpyo put in that work, but alas, DoT, not enough gas in the tank, not enough options to be able to make it back onto the stage.
I mean, all that being said, rather healthy on this last stock for both members of Blue, so not out of the woods just yet are Sakuya and Fronix. So here we go. Lance action's going to come through on the left side. Sakuya's playing perimeter right here to dodge out, but the orb sees all. It's going to find that stock on the right side. This is looking like an opportunity now for Blue if they can get this stock off of Fronix.
Okay. Looking for the ground pound and then holds onto it for dear life, hoping that you could potentially avoid getting edge guarded. But DoT, playing no nonsense, said, "What are you doing? I'm speed. I have doubting. I have ground pound. I have that weapon toss. You cannot get away with this against me."
I'm too different. My smoke's too tough. Okay, Yunpyo's gonna be the first one to fall right here in the 2v1. DoT is in pretty precarious damage right now. Not out of the woods just yet, though. I mean, look at Sakuya. If he can find this one opportunity, it's very possible. But now with the unarmed, I'm not so sure.
When you get anti that many times, that many axe D-lights, you're like, oh wow, I am all the way in the red, and all it takes is, that's right, baby, one axe and light to be able to seal off that stock and that game.
All right, Fronix and Sakuya will be the first players to take this game in this match. I mean, all that being said, I have to keep looking over at the red Raptor in this 4-stack, right, Dara? Like, what is the orb and the boot? What are they doing in this situation? And it looks like, especially when Yunpyo was on the orb, they were able to find stocks rather early, especially off side KOs. But it was just very, very hard for Blue Team to find some initiative here.
Yeah, so boots and shoes is always going to be a little bit interesting. It's like a nice weapon that plays like second beat off of your teammate, and so DoT wanted just to be able to like set up for Yunpyo a little bit more. But let's see what ends up happening in this next game. At the moment, the recovery into the GC N-Sig. The GC N-Sig does not connect, but wow, that animation is so cool. This is such an amazing skin for that.
Okay, looking for the double stairway right there from our spear player. This is a little bit of a lead now for Blue, starting us out pretty early, ripping that one a little soon, though. So now Yunpyo's going to get caught up into the vortex, but... And again, there's the side-to-side KOs that we're seeing on the orb. Maybe another one right there. It's very close.
But guess what? I'm going to be out of the game for a little bit, and this is the two-edged sword that is having a high defense. Sakuya ended up getting 2v1 because of how long it took for Fronix to actually make it back onto the stage.
Orb things, Dara. Orb things! Look at this! The orb! It knows! It sees everything! Look at Yunpyo go right there. Fronix trying to break up the action with that land. Sakuya forcing the 1v1 right there onto DoT, so he can't play defense as Yunpyo comes back on the respawn right now. Let's see if there's another window right here. DoT still hanging on to this first stock. Rather healthy, too.
Okay, able to get the side hit, and then Sakuya just immediately gonna be responding with a side sig to I believe. I always mix up Blue Shog side sig and D sig. Please forgive me.
Oh my!
And right now, look at his lead for the blue team wall.
I'm trying to not let my bias come out because I love the orb so much, Dara. I just want you to know that. I'm really trying my hardest here. But look at the orb. Look at the orb doing orb things. It's great. Sakuya is going to try to make some action happen. The pogo is not going to connect right there. But here we go. The quick 1-2 off the top is not going to connect. Next one surely gets the KO.
That's right, but right now Yunpyo playing nice and grounded, playing nice and patient. I love that confidence. Sat there and said, you are going to whiff a cider, and got that punish. That being said, going to be eating a downer, and that's going to be the stock gone. DoT eating a recovery doesn't actually KO off the top quite yet. Cider just to be able to swat them away. Yunpyo getting in there, going to be looking for that D-Sig. Chase dodge up. Fronix, no weapon in hand. But then finally DoT's second stock is gone, and that is the opening to pick up a weapon.
Yeah, and Yunpyo actually miscommunication right there, getting the KO onto DoT. I mean, it's kind of no harm, no foul so far because DoT had the extra stock to play around with, and now they're pretty healthy going into this last. Yunpyo finding themselves in the mixer right now, getting the stock, and another one to boot. We're 1-1.
Yeah, DoT and Yunpyo, they played really good this time around. So what happened? A lot of survivability. They weren't actually getting KO'd all that easily. The damage output, the team combos were excellent. You talked about the orb a little bit. I feel like Yunpyo was able to really make that weapon shine. And then the edge guarding was phenomenal. Specifically, I want to give my commendations to the DoT. DoT's edge guards were excellent on stage.
Yeah, I think when you boil it down to very, very simple terms right here, the way that DoT and Yunpyo were able to force side-to-side KOs with the orb, and then DoT could basically cover their tracks with good edge guards, whether it's pogo, ground pound, etc. Really, really good stuff. Love to see that equalizer game come through. But now we're in tiebreaker game 3. Let's see what comes to the table right here on the side of Fronix and Sakuya.
That's right. Okay, decent. Oh my gosh.
I mean, that was pretty good. I would say that's a good start.
That is exactly the kind of a start that Red Team could have possibly wanted for themselves. They could not have hoped for anything better, and now they have all of this momentum behind them. Sakuya going to be going off stage with that ground pound, and then ends up getting punished aptly for it. Bit of a 2v1 happening here. Orb Cider, DoT was in no position to actually follow up off of it. Wasn't able to find that D-Light, but I mean, again, Red Team is playing amazing at the moment.
Yeah, and just like that, DoT is already in red on second stock right here. Fronix is hanging on to that first stock. Will not be able to hang on for too much longer, though, as I say it. Sakuya playing a really good defense right here. Getting diced up with your teammate doesn't really matter, right? Like, you don't want to trade stocks when you're this far behind now.
Feels like Red Team is a little bit sandwiched there in that position. Okay, Yunpyo almost able to get that follow-up. The sidelight gets perfectly punished by the recovery. How do you make it back onto the stage here? Fronix playing nice and patient, able to pick up the axe.
Ooh, yeah, DoT was just eyeballing that weapon right there, but Fronix was really doing a great job at defending it for just a moment longer to get a little bit more damage on the board. Sakuya's in pretty deep red right now, so any signature, any team combo setup from DoT could be enough to do it, but I mean, we've been seeing those side airs from the orb do the job as well. Yunpyo instead's gonna look down Fronix.
Looking to land with the cider, just tossing up the weapon. Okay, chase dodge, looking for the cider as well. Sakuya just gonna be committing off stage, but doesn't find anything quite yet. Okay, that's gonna be the recovery. This is looking really difficult for the blue team right now.
Oh my gosh, yeah, and they're just picking up the pieces right here. Go to game 3. Yunpyo will find that stock, spend the orb as well. You gotta get a stock on Fronix, but even then, it's looking like a really, really tough comeback. And it is over. Game 3 going over to Sakuya and Fronix.
Once again, that game was a bit of a sweep. That game was a bit of a sweep, and I want to see a replay on that team combo, please.
Yeah.
And thank you. Because that was a crazy way to be able to open up. That is an amazing lead. That is the best possible lead that you could have asked for. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you talk about the ability for players to find these 2v1s, right? Especially with the way that some of these launchers operate in Brawlhalla. But to be able to get the team combo on both members of the other team is pretty darn good.
That's right. You just see dollar signs in your eyes at that point. You're like, oh, they're both stacked. Cool. I don't have any issues with this situation at all. Sakuya going to be switching off to the Aang at this point in time. So, you know, no longer just on the Wushang skin. We go to the Wushang crossover. And right now the game count is 2-1 in Sakuya and Fronix's favor.
All right, let's see if these two can close this one out. Again, we are in elimination bracket. So the winner of this will move on to face Taxation and Serenity. Loser will be eliminated at 5th place here.
Sakuya,
wow, nice
okay, amazing. Just able to go ahead and catch DoT off stage. Not going to deal that much knockback though. Okay, sidelight downer into the sider as well. Sakuya in a bit of a nasty position. DoT going to be going for it all with the ground pound, but it does not connect.
Yeah, I feel like all of that coverage was so strong, and then you hard committed to the ground pound. So we do get a soft reset here for red team. Could have been an opportunity for blue to go up pretty early right here, but the lance is so dangerous still. DoT throws it away.
Yun looking for a GCP save that did not actually end up connecting. Yunpyo, how do you make it back on? I love that fastball. I love that idea to try and avoid the ground pound, but alas, the recovery not actually enough drift to be able to make it back onto stage.
Right.
Sakuya, off stage as well. That's going to be Fronix's first stop gone.
Sakuya soon to follow as well, so slight lead goes over to blue. DoT is looking real juicy there for any launcher to do it. Even, yeah, side arrow, I was going to say, is close, especially if it went off the right side instead.
Sakuya being nice and patient, looking for the jump call out. Fronix with a nice D-Sig closer, and Yunpyo is just trying to run away and waiting for DoT to come back on.
Okay, quick little 3-piece right there from Sakuya. Yunpyo has to make it back to stage,
Okay.
switching over to the boots now.
Sakuya a little bit up too high with that GCN sync, but that was the right idea. That could have been amazing. That could have been so huge had it connected, but still, damage is damage at the end of the day. And now look at the position that DoT is in, eating a weapon toss, eating a recovery, struggling to be able to make it back down onto the stage until Yunpyo comes to the rescue.
Yeah, can't deny it. There's Sakuya coming through on the left side right here. Opportunity for the 2v1 onto Yunpyo. Not going to get too much after that. Wait a second. Okay, Fronix does get disarmed right there. Yunpyo looking to try to answer back with that signature, but not going to get too much after it. Wait.
The N-Sig, the hold on the N-Sig too. Just going to be landing into it, and all of a sudden, Fronix going to be hitting a couple of hits. Going to be just trying to play back. Axe against Lance is an amazing matchup for the Axe, but just quickly switching off onto Yunpyo. I'm surprised that there was no punish on the ground pound.
Oh no. Okay, Yunpyo has to make it back to stage now. There's the weapon toss right there, still maintaining the boots as well. First stock decides the world here, potentially. Let's see. Sakuya is spending all of it. What a reach.
Oh my gosh, Fronix still able to hang on to the stop. Yunpyo, how do you make it back on? You land onto the stage. You're not able to get the N-Sig follow-up. You're still stuck off stage. Fronix gonna be opting to go onto DoT. Sakuya with the pickup using the N-Sig and an amazing recovery. Yunpyo is officially out of the game.
Yeah, such a hard position for Yunpyo to be in, right? Like, you could see the way he was jockeying for position right there. The weapon throw to go will close that one out for Sakuya and Fronix. Amazing stuff, but I mean, that position at the end right there, I'm sure we'll see it on the replay. It was so hard for Yunpyo to try to find his opening to get in as Fronix and Sakuya were kind of hanging out on that right side, facing off against DoT. And as soon as Yunpyo decided to